What would you do if the people you trusted most stole your life's work, only to discover you held the one card they couldn't take? My name is Elise Harper, and this is the story of how I reclaimed my legacy from the ashes of betrayal. I grew up in the shadow of Harper Tech, my father's empire, a titan in renewable energy innovation. Dad wasn't just a CEO. He was a visionary who believed technology could heal the planet. As the eldest of 3 siblings, I was the odd one out, always tinkering in the lab while my brother, Nathan, and sister, Clara, chased boardroom glory. Dad saw me, though. He'd spend hours with me, sketching circuits, dreaming up solutions to harness solar energy more efficiently than anyone else. Elise, he'd say, you're the heart of this company, even if they don't see it yet. When he died 2 years ago, I thought his faith in me would carry us forward. I was wrong. The will was clear. Harper Tech was split equally among us, but I was named lead innovator, tasked with steering R&D. Nathan and Clara, with their MBAs and polished smiles, took the executive reins. I didn't mind. The lab was my sanctuary, where I poured my soul into perfecting our flagship product, a solar panel so efficient it could power entire cities on a fraction of the land. Every breakthrough, every patent bore my name. I trusted my siblings to handle the business while I built the future. That trust was my first mistake. It started with whispers. Board members stopped returning my calls. My access to certain financial records was quietly revoked. I'd walk into meetings and feel the air shift, like I'd interrupted a secret. Nathan would flash his charming grin, saying, "Just boring numbers, Elise. Stick to your gadgets." Clara, ever the diplomat, would pat my arm and promise transparency. I wanted to believe them. They were family, after all. But doubt gnawed at me, a slow poison. Then came an email, anonymous, sent from a burner account, with a single attachment, a board resolution, signed by Nathan and Clara, transferring majority control of Harper Tech to themselves. They convinced the board I was unfit to lead, citing my obsession with the lab over corporate strategy. They'd frozen me out, relegating me to a figurehead role with no real power. The company Dad built, the one I'd given my life to, was now theirs. I sat in my apartment, staring at the screen, my chest tight with a betrayal so sharp it felt like a physical wound. But they'd overlooked something. Every patent, the solar tech, the battery systems, the grid optimizers was in my name. Not Harper Tech's. Mine. Dad had insisted on it, saying, "Your ideas are your power, Elise. Protect them." I never thought I need to use that power against my own blood. I could have confronted them, stormed into the boardroom with lawyers and fury. But rage doesn't win wars, strategy does. I needed to understand their game. So I played along, acting oblivious while digging. I hired a private investigator, a grizzled ex-cop named Marla, who had a knack for finding dirt. She uncovered their plan. Nathan and Clara were negotiating a $2 billion deal to sell Harper Tech to a rival conglomerate, Solar Peak. They'd pocket millions, and my patents would be absorbed into the sale, leaving me with nothing but a title and a paycheck. That's when Marla introduced me to someone unexpected, Julian Voss, a former Harper Tech engineer who'd left years ago after a falling out with Nathan. Julian was a wild card, lean and intense, with a mind as sharp as mine and a grudge to match. He'd been quietly tracking my siblings' moves, suspecting they'd try to cut me out. "They're sloppy. Elise," he said, handing me a USB drive. "This is everything you need to take them down." The drive contained emails, financial records, even recordings of Nathan boasting about handling me. It was a gold mine, but it came with a twist. Julian wanted a stake in whatever came next. I didn't trust him entirely. His motives felt too personal, but I needed an ally. We shook on it. The annual shareholder meeting was 3 weeks away. their deadline to finalize the Solar Peak deal. I had to move fast. I spent nights in the lab, not building but planning. I reached out to key investors, old allies of Dad's who respected my work. I showed them the patents, the proof of my contributions, and the evidence of Nathan and Clara's betrayal. Most were shocked. A few weren't surprised. Your siblings always wanted the crown, one said. They forgot you forged it. The meeting was held in Harper Tech's glass-walled boardroom, sunlight streaming in like a spotlight. Nathan and Clara stood at the front, all confidence, pitching the Solar Peak deal as a new era for the company. I sat in the back, silent, my heart pounding. When they opened the floor for questions, I stood. The room went quiet. "Nathan, Clara," I said, my voice steady despite the fire in my veins. "You've done an excellent job selling a company you don't fully own." Their faces froze. I projected the patent documents onto the screen behind them, each one stamped with my name. "Every innovation you're banking, 1 cent of that $2 billion deal rests on these. And I'm not signing them over." The room erupted. Shareholders demanded answers. Nathan stammered, Clara's composure cracked, but I wasn't done. I played the recordings from Julian's drive, Nathan's voice smugly detailing how they'd neutralized me. Gasps rippled through the crowd. I saw the moment my siblings realized they'd lost. But victory didn't feel like I'd imagined. As the board voted to halt the sale and investigate, I looked at Nathan and Clara, their faces pale, and felt a pang of grief. They were my family once. We'd built forts together, shared dreams under Dad's watchful eye. How had it come to this? I wanted to hate them, but all I felt was loss. In the weeks that followed, the board ousted Nathan and Clara. I was offered the CEO role, but I declined. The lab was still my home, and I trusted a new interim CEO, one of Dad's old partners, to steer the ship. I renegotiated the patent's licensing to ensure Harper Tech could thrive without being sold off, securing its future in mind. Julian, true to his word, took a small stake and became my R&D partner. He's still a mystery, but his edge keeps me sharp. I walk into Harper Tech every day now, not as a figurehead, but as its beating heart. My siblings' betrayal taught me something Dad never could. Trust is fragile, but power is earned. I don't know if Nathan and Clara will ever forgive me, or I them. But I know this: the future of Harper Tech and the planet it serves rests on my shoulders, and I'm ready to carry it.